Hi, I'm Justin Jensen, and welcome to my channel. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and may fall again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. Teddy Roosevelt. Hello. How's everyone doing? It's great to see everyone. Oh, good Lord, I am shaking actually right now from what we just heard a few moments ago and learned. So, for those of you, there may be a little echo. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me put my cap on it. I'm in a kind of a big room. I haven't got my stuff for the echo yet, but so for those of you that haven't watched the Adventures with Purpose members only video, it's very shocking. It's very heartbreaking, but we have more answers because of this. Just a few moments ago, well, we're going to go over some pictures and stuff, but we're going to go over some things that was said on another channel moments ago. And we're going to go over some photos. No, I will not play the members only because these guys worked their butts off. And it'll be live in 2 days if you're not a member. If you can be a member, I recommend you doing that. I've been a member to Adventures with Purpose on my personal YouTube for a long time. But I will show you pictures of the live. And we talked to Jagger just a little bit ago, and he said something that was very interesting to us. We gave him a link to our live, and if he wants to come up and talk, he's welcome to. But it has been just absolutely crazy. So this is I want to show you guys something. And I don't want to, and listen, I'm not putting down the police. I'm not doing anything in that nature. The us is my mods, a couple of my mods, and I. I'm not putting down police when I say this, so I don't want people to think that. But here is a photo of Adventures with Purpose. and it's harder to see on here than if it is just like a regular photo. You can clearly see a car here. I mean, it's right off the shore, and there was even divers. And I do believe everything happens within its time. But, I mean, hello? You can clearly see, even from the air, an outline of Kylie's car. And how did this happen? That's what I don't understand. I mean, if you can't see an outline of a car there, then I mean, I saw some drone footage before and people thought it was a car. I thought it was clouds, but this one you can clearly see it's visible. So, not to fault the police or anything like that, but people need to be trained better, these agencies, because how many times has this happened that the police say, nope, nothing in there, and then Adventures with Purpose goes in and they find something else. Now, I am going to have an open panel here in a little bit because I do want to hear you guys. This just some really, really crazy stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you something. And most of you know this. I have kind of always leaned on the side of, in my opinion, not to try to persuade you guys in any way, but just my opinion is I do and have always believed there was something bigger. This was not an accident. I do not see anyone, no matter how drunk they are, no matter how young they are, driving into, something like that. Pardon? My kids. So, yes. I want to show you guys some photos first. And then we're going to listen to some audio. And your mind is going to be blown. I am still shaking regarding this. So just give me. So for those of you that aren't able to, afford the membership, I'm going to show pictures, but I am not showing video on Adventures with Purpose. I don't think it's fair. This is actual footage with Adventures with Purpose in Kylie's car. As you can see here, you can tell that it's definitely on its top. To me, in my opinion, this looks like maybe like a sun visor or something, but this right here it definitely looks like an iPad or an iPhone, like an Apple, some type of charger. This shows more. It looks like some type of pin. And this to me, it looks like it says Truly. I think that's a drink. If anyone knows, please let me know. But this looks like some type of pin or something. Curling iron, maybe. And this says truly, and then it looks like a visor here, and then an Apple, clearly an Apple charger in my opinion. And then I don't know what this is through here. Truly is an alcohol drink. Okay. It's a hard seltzer. Okay. So shows you there was alcohol involved. Thank you, Haley, for becoming a member. I do appreciate it. K-Bears Mama, thank you. I do appreciate it. Now I need to pull up something else. Credit goes to Adventures with Purpose for these so mods, please now I don't know what this is, but to me it looks like it's in the back. And guys, trigger warning to those who see this. This is very hard to see. Cakes Boo, I agree. Alcohol can be like that for sure. So we do know, yes. So Kylie was located in the very back. And when I say the very back, I don't mean the back seats. She was in like the back hatch, the back trunk area. As we know, the window was broken on one side, halfway down on the other side. In my opinion, that was intentional. In my opinion, we don't know what the person's state of mind was during this happened, but to me, it is intentional that someone wanted this car to sink fast, in my opinion. So I'm going to play a recording from Zav Girl. Credit goes to her alone. So Jared from Adventures with Purpose was there momentarily ago. Ryan Upchurch was there. She was live. And I'm going to play some audio. She did amazing work. She actually did Mystic Firefly. Yes, she did. We're going to break this down as it comes in. Yeah, let me slow chat real quick. So I can see this is, I am literally gobsmacked. And then I'm going to tell you what Jagger told us. And he's probably watching right now, and that's okay. I hope he is. All right, Let's load. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Whenever, here we go.
You're saying that the reason that you went to Boca first is because of the tow truck guy, or like a
because we always go off of last known location, and so
yeah,
we have no doubt in trusting him because of his presence, his girlfriend, and the same story was told 3 times. It was it was from memory. It wasn't like I'm making this up on the spot, and so very credible, which gives us a new last known location.
Oh my gosh!
In this as well, and I don't know, I can't remember if we showed it on video or not, but we did make an immediate phone call to the detectives as well to verify this. Now the thing is that you have multiple, people taking these tips, from 2 different counties and 18 different agencies, and so while the detective that we made contact with immediately on the spot, while Nick the tow truck driver is there with us that night, that detective that we spoke to had never heard this. This confession, this story before, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't recorded somewhere else. Remember, was there like 1,500 or 2,000 tips that came in, and they have to filter through all of them. So
exactly,
so we cannot sit here and say, well, this is a completely made up story, and who is this guy just out of the blue? And there's going to be so many conspiracy theories, as as to this. Coming back to the the car and floating, and if somebody's involved or not. Like I said, if somebody is, we have the entire interview, which will just be like, you're going to be blown away with that one, as well as the full interaction with dad and grandpa, right there at Lakeside versus what we cut down. Well, we hope it's not true. We hope there's nothing more than an accident, but we don't know. At this point, we're all speculating as to what's presented before us right now. In questioning whether now that it's out, and you see that Nick in the video that we put out to members today, we can now confirm, we can put it out there publicly. Yes, she was in the back of the car. Now, the question that my wife came to me.
Okay. So Jared says with Adventures with Purpose that clearly she was found in the back of the car. They can release that. Now listen very carefully, guys.
For me, the back is the back, but my wife, said, what part of the back? Well, she wasn't in the back seat. She was in the back, okay? And so now when you start breaking this down, again, just speculation, even though she is a small gal, you only have so much space.
A little space.
You also have that this car is not sinking in the same way that a car with the windows up are going to sink, which would be a 2 to 10 minute float, and then the car, drops down. You have plenty of, air in there that's going to give you time to think about how you're going to escape with putting windows down versus a window that is down, which now you have nothing trapped in the air, which means the vehicle is going to go under much quicker and not.
What's the time? Jared,
by the way, that's a really cool video you put out that shows people how to get out of cars, bro. I watched that, and dude, I will never forget that knowledge.
It's very helpful. I agree, Ryan.
Yeah, that's awesome. 20 to 30 seconds. If the window's open, the car does not have long, and so you don't have much time to react.
So the windows was rolled down. She was in the very back of the trunk. Like where you put groceries or whatever, the hatch, it's a SUV. The windows was down 20 to 30 seconds. It was going to sink with the windows rolled down. The windows are up. You have anywhere from, like 2 minutes or longer, he said.
Yeah, you're not going to get doors open. The moment you end up with 4 inches of water pressure against the door, that door is not coming open.
Don't you have to wait till it sets all the way on the bottom and actually sets before you open the door?
Yeah, the entire vehicle has to be full of water, and that and now you have to hold your breath for you have to be able to be in the very top corner, taking that last breath, hold your breath for 2 minutes. Dude, listen, I can only hold my breath for like 20 seconds. So
right.
For me, if I relied on waiting for a car to completely fill with water and escape, I would not make not make it out.
Mm-hmm.
We
but-
got a lot of that, Jared, yesterday when we played some videos, and one of the things was wait till the water for, the buoyancy level. And everyone's like, no, AWP says, do not do that. Don't wait. Don't wait.
Well, same thing with the headrest. How many headrests don't even come off, or what if the top of the car is smashed, or we've even taken the headrest and tried to, the headrest, as well as another tip is, grab your visor and break it off. Well, first of all, it's really difficult to get the visor off. We showed it in one of the videos, as well as using it and just trying to get out the window. Don't rely on that. I mean, you do need to get yourself, an emergency, window breaker tool. I'm not here to sell them. We don't even have them on the website right now. And the reason for that is we have a unscrupulous competitor that actually has them off of the line right now. We're going through litigation with them. So anyway, we're going to end up having them back online, and we're going through that. We have a meeting with a Shopify litigation team on Friday. But this has been an ongoing thing with him. He's a terrible guy. It is what it is. In the end,
to do.
but in the end, one of the things you'll see, I won't state who he is. I won't say his name or his company. In the same way that we're still, even those people that we dislike and hate, or those that we protect at times, we just simply don't throw people under the bus.
Yeah,
Hey, Jared, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
First of all, you're awesome. And would you be able to comment on the verification of the tow truck driver dash cam at all?
So the footage of that one was locked up by his company. And so the moment that it was made known that this might be a part of something, they just locked it down. He does not, because it's not his company. It wasn't his. He doesn't own the truck. It's now in the database cloud somewhere. But everybody is aware of that, and the law enforcement is following up on that. So we do not have it. He does not have it.
Okay, so
But what I
need a warrant to get it?
what I can say and touch on this is that, and this will be in our full released unedited interview if it goes this direction. But let me just say it here: is that Nick thought that this was odd that once he was done with the call, he pulled down the road, pulled
you're
over,
not gonna believe what happened.
called his girlfriend,
I'll talk to you later.
and he
I gotta go
told
back.
her what had happened. So this is where we now have her story, and she was there as well, that you didn't see her on camera at that moment in time, but we do have her on camera as well, that she collaborates his story as to he was there and how odd this was. And she remembers the day because it was her dad's birthday, so she does not forget that it was Saturday.
It was Saturday.
Oh my God.
Can you give us more description of the guy?
Now, but again, I mean, I don't know Nick from, anybody. I don't have any reason to, discredit or think otherwise. And don't say, don't hold this, as the golden, the golden law here as 100% truth, as 100% truth or fact. I don't know, until more information comes out or something happens that can collaborate and verify this. We're just saying what has been passed on to us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, we, in the edit, you saw we were very, respectful, blurred out certain things, and we left out a lot to not point fingers, not to speculate, but to simply bring more information out there to release our video because, as you guys know, there was whether it was a fake account or whether it was a real account, we started to get thrown under the bus, and we just let the video, speak for itself. That's what we did.
Exactly. And that's what I told everybody. I was like, listen, y'all can see, I've been on here for 10 years, bro. I've had fake profiles of me. I've had I've been scammed a million times. And I was like, you guys really have to watch out for what some of these accounts are pushing. I was like, look, this account right here is saying, Ryan, why are you saying that AWP is lying? I'm like, show me a video of me saying AWP is lying. I said, bro, they go everywhere. They don't know everyone everywhere they go. So, yeah.
I'm glad you guys got to meet though, because I was like, at first it was about the Hellcat, and I was like, are you guys gonna take the money for the Hellcat? And now I just want, you guys have brought so much light to Kylie, and whether people agree or disagree with one side or another, we're all just truth seekers here, right? And we're just trying to do the best we can and put the pieces together. We adore you. Jared, I just want to say something. We have been like promoting you guys after we had something, we had a guest on, we've had a guest on for a long time who put you down. We felt really bad about it, and you probably know the PI that we're talking about. So
we've learned to simply not respond to trolls and haters online, and
thank you.
It is what it is. So in the end, the truth comes out, and we are who we are. So like us or hate us, in the end, I don't care. Ryan doesn't care. I've seen a couple of his videos.
That's a tiny percentage.
I know, that's what I love about Ryan. He don't care about anybody.
In the end, we're here to do. We're here to find out the where. We're not here. We are not here to find out the who or the how.
Exactly.
We did our job, and then we moved on to the next one.
Can you answer what gear the car was in, or can't you answer?
So while our team did not specifically look at what gear it was, you can see in the video that the wheels are turning, which would indicate that the vehicle is in neutral.
Otherwise,
So they are saying that when they didn't check where the gear was at, but the wheels were turning when they were bringing her out, which appears that Kylie's car was in neutral. And two windows, one down, one busted. All right, keep listening. I'm nauseous. I'm nauseous.
as that mug would have went.
Wow.
So Jared, can you describe the person a little more on the video? The guy that was there with, I don't even know for sure if it was with Kylie, but does he give you more of a description to where you guys know who it might be?
It is. I mean, I think that everybody's already speculating, in any additional information that I would provide. So, I have to be careful in what it is that we do say and what we put out there for certain reasons. So, we put out what we can at this moment in time, and like I said, we will put out a lot more later on if it goes down in that direction that law enforcement take it.
So from everything that you've seen in your experience, if you had to guess, would you guess that there's foul play involved in this one?
I'm just going. I'll say this: I would not have put that in our title if we thought it was nothing more than an accident. It's open for interpretation, speculation at this point. There's an entire other theory that it would blow your mind if I even told you. Based upon additional, even just going with let's see, without giving away too much, without me saying anything really. If you think about the two people that are moving around the vehicle, there could be more to that story.
So I gotta play that again, guys. Hold on.
Jared, I just want to say something. We have been promoting you guys after we had something. Jared, I just want to say something.
That mug would have went.
Wow. Involved in this one?
I'm just going. I'll say this: I would not have put that in our title if we thought it was nothing more than an accident. It's open for interpretation.
So he says that he believes that he's not saying that it is foul play, but he's saying he wouldn't have put that in the title or in the video, of the diver coming up and saying, "Looks suspicious to me," if it wasn't a possibility, at least. But then listen to what he says next.
Speculation at this point. There's an entire other theory that it would blow your mind if I even told you, based upon additional, even just going with let's see, without giving away too much, without me saying anything really. If you think about the two people that are moving around the vehicle, there could be more to that story.
So he talks about how that there could be another theory, and he's not obviously telling us the theory, but he says, based upon other information, that it would blow our mind. And he says two people moving around the vehicle. And he leaves it at that.
He's
Was
talking
Nick
without talking because he knows he
Oh my God.
it's yeah.
It's something that even in my conversation, if I have private conversation with Ryan later on, will be a private conversation. I'm not even going to tell you,
Right.
Ryan. I mean, because everybody
I
needs
don't
to
blame
come to
you.
their own conclusion at this point as to potential. But none of us want to be in a situation where it's defamation.
Exactly.
If it's not true.
Right.
We hope that it's not. But if it is, then justice will be served. Appropriately.
Was Nick
A lot of
able
people.
to, sorry, I just have one more question. Was Nick able to say, look at a picture of Kylie and say, this is the girl that I saw, or was it more based off of the vehicle matched the description of her?
Right now, I'm still gathering some information based upon what I just hinted to you right now.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm gathering more information on that one. As far as who the male may be, I'm going to say that it was a positive match.
Yeah, got it.
Without saying.
Well, wow.
Oh my
You
God.
say male?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh.
Yeah, because remember he said that the girl was with a male with the SF black cap on. And
Oh my God.
Positive match. The girl that's with a guy with a hat on, with hair sticking out. Positive match.
So yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. So how we're praying for Nick Jared too, because we know that was his first, or we're assuming that's his first body. How's he holding up?
It was he's actually holding up pretty good. We debriefed again yesterday, and had another conversation about it. Your first one, is always the hard. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say that. Your first one is not always the hardest. Each and every one of them, even though, we didn't know Kylie, we've connected with the story. We're fathers ourselves. We're brothers, we're uncles. We're dads, we're grandpas. And so we have that emotional connection, and it used to really upset me when people troll me and like, oh, you're just a showman, and you're just the tears are not real. I was like, no, everything that we've ever done is real, raw,
100% real.
yeah. And so what you're seeing from Nick is what you saw a lot from me in the very beginning as well. And so the more I go and I do more of these, I almost feel bad that it's like that I'm not showing as much emotion, because am I becoming, used to it, or am I just internalizing it?
Desensitized. It does
That's what
happen.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Just like a crime scene investigator. That's why they show up and don't show no emotion.
Yeah. So then it's like, well, okay, well now Jared doesn't even care. Now Jared's just here for the views, and he's here for the money, and we're here for the families, because again, coming back to, I'm a dad, I'm a neighbor, I'm a grandpa. I have kids. You know, my kids are now 22 and 25. You know, whether they're 16 when they go, you know, if they would have gone missing or now, I mean, it's going to hit you exactly the same. And
it's always your little boy or little girl, no matter how old they are.
Yeah, and if that message from the mom is from her real account, I don't know if it is or not. I don't fault her, and I don't blame her at all, because everybody will go through a grieving process differently. So, you know, one thing that we don't do is we don't reach back out to families for a pat on the back. We move on to the next case to go help the next family. And we've been invited to, you know, probably 60, 70% of the cases that we have solved to come be a part of the memorial, and we turn every single one of them down. And the reason for it is that is not our day to come and be the showman and say, hey, we were the heroes in this to solve this for you. This is your special day with your family to, you know, to honor and remember your lost loved one. And we're not here to distract and take anything away from them.
Thanks for clearing that up, because that was something we were debating with yesterday. And one of the thoughts was everyone grieves differently, and you can't judge somebody on their stage of their grief that they're in, right? But I'm glad that you said that, and that you're making it very clear. We have a lot of respect for you here, and chat, obviously, they're just like throwing up hearts for you. Like, everyone respects you guys so much.
And we want to wish you all the luck in the world in your future searches.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and then, you know, just a few more things. You know, we don't come into these based upon any rewards. We find that most rewards are just bogus and BS. To date, we have only ever once received a reward, and we split that evenly among the team members. And that way they can do and choose how to spend it that's going to best suit them and their families. I choose to reinvest. Say what? Only one. Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're not real. They you know, like the individual that you had on.
Yes. The PI. Yes, for Jared Hall. Yes, and he has been notorious for saying that he's going to give rewards out, and reneging on them. And anybody who hears this within the sound of my voice, who supports him after everything he's done, especially to Sav and to everybody else out there, if you guys care, it's truly disheartening to see that. So yes.
So now, you know, from time to time, families will offer up donations. You know, from time to time, when we know the family is struggling, we will have them put up a GoFundMe immediately that we help drive. You know, the donations to cover funeral expenses, which is usually in the 5 to 10 range. And so, you know, I advise a $10,000 funeral expense is what we do. We've done that for, you know, probably 5 or 6 of the families that needed that help and that assistance. You know, we've helped, you know, fire departments raise funds for, you know, underwater drones and to help them get sonar as well. You know, that's what we're here to do, is to help the entire community. So, you know, we'll never turn down. We'll always honor a donation if it comes our way, and or a reward. So, you know, when the news came out of, well, the AWP doesn't, no, we do. It's not why we come and we do these.
Exactly.
We do, you know, and we took a big chance in coming in on a fresh case, because most of the time they're going to be found within the first week or two, whether it's somebody in a vehicle or somebody that's simply drowned. If they simply drowned, they go through 2 float cycles and they're going to be found. So we don't rush across the country, especially for a drowning, you know, victim. We've also learned in the past, as you've seen the backlash that we receive, and they say no good deed goes undone, that we don't come in on these fresh cases because there's so many agencies and entities and egos and, you know, turf wars that take place. We're not here to make anybody look bad. We don't really want to be a part of it. And that's why we have chosen in the past to only work cold cases that everyone has already forgotten about, that these families and the victims need a voice to be remembered and to possibly solve this. And that's why, you know, we're quiet about it. Sometimes law enforcement knows about it. Sometimes they don't. You know, we do everything by the book as far as, you know, we don't trespass. We'll always get permission for any private property. Any public waterways, we don't need permission for. You know, we have zero red tape, that we will go wherever we want. We will knock on whatever door we want. We don't have to go get warrants. It's just simply listen, I'm in the area. I'm looking for so-and-so. We believe your body of water is in an appropriate place where they could have gone off the road. And, you know, 99.8% of the time, you know, the homeowners are very, you know, gracious in letting us search their property, because we're doing so, you know, in a non-intrusive way. We'll put in little boats in. We're on the water for 15 minutes, and I'll let you know whether there's a vehicle there or not. You know, and then as you've seen, you know, depending on, you know, how many, you know, been watched, we're learning. You know, at the end of the day, we're all just civilians trying to do something good to bring awareness and to solve the case. So in the beginning, yeah, the Iowa case, they're like, well, they went to go sue for the $100,000. I was pissed. Listen, that reward, as we're learning, we didn't go for the reward, but it was offered. And so when the business owners decided to yank it the night before, after we found the vehicle, we reported it, and then law enforcement is coming in the next day to remove the vehicle. Law enforcement understood how important it was for us to be there. Otherwise, our viewers would come down on them because they saw what happened over in North Carolina. But the reward was yanked the night before that suddenly it had expired. So it pissed me off. It's like, yeah, I'll sue you for it. But
100%.
But then in the end, it was like, that's not who we are. That's not why we came. And so if it's there and it's offered graciously, 100%. If it's not, if you don't want to honor it, I'm not going to hook you over the coals. It's not my problem. It's not on my shoulders because I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing regardless.
So,
Jared,
what about the
they have a
pizza?
question. They have a question in chat, and I think it's important. I don't know if you can answer it or not. Do you think that you could tell us if her phone was found in the vehicle?
That one I actually have no idea. I have not heard anything, so I'm not sugarcoating it. I can't say yes or no. I don't have.
I got to bounce out, you guys. Jared, it's nice to meet you, buddy. Hey, I'm going to get your number from the email. Whatever we talk about is not going to make it onto a camera anywhere else. I can give you my word on that. All a man has is his word. Sav, you take
Bye,
it easy,
Ryan.
girl. All you other ladies in here, take it easy. I got to get.
Yeah, this tow company will, however many cars you find this year, we'll do it. Just 25 cars the first year. And then family saw that we had.
And
Yeah, that was actually the third one that we'd ever found, but that was our first one on action.
scrupulous guy who's trying to compete with you.
Fingers crossed, if all goes well with the Shopify litigation team, we'll have them back online on Friday.
Wow.
It would be great if car manufacturers could keep this in mind and try designing something in the car that you could get the seat down faster or something. I don't know.
There's a company we're working with, but they're still probably a year and a half, 2 years out to market to where it will automatically lower the windows the moment that the vehicle goes in the water and the vehicle is upright at that moment in time. Once the vehicle goes upside down and the windows were down, it's going to sink almost immediately. But it's just not out there yet for that product. But this company does have the patent on it, and yeah, they're doing everything they can to get it out, and we're going to help them promote it.
Okay, guys. So this is what we know. We know that Kylie was in the backpack, whenever she was found. And I've heard people saying, yeah, well, she could have floated back there. She could have floated back there. This is the back of a CRV. I want to show you this. This is the back of a CRV. Okay. There's not much in the back. There's not in the hatch. There's not much room. And also, in my opinion, it's you're not going to have room respectfully for a body to float into the back here. You're just not going to. It's not likely. Because, I mean, in my opinion, if she's more likely, if she floated back here, to me, she's more likely to float out of one of the windows than it is back here. The seats are up, and like this is really, really small area. Yes, she is a tiny girl, but regardless, Yes, the body was found in the hatch. No, I'm going to tell you guys what Jagger told us. Hold on. So, also, Jared said they did not, from Adventures with Purpose, they did not check the gears. However, when they did pull out the vehicle, that the wheels were turning, which represents that. Guys, hold on 1 second. 1 second. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Kids and a dog. Okay. Jaja wants to say hi, guys. She's doesn't have enough attention in the world, you know. Say hi. Say hi, Jaji. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So, in my opinion, there is not enough room for her to float back here and to be found back here. That is my opinion, but we do definitely know that she was found in the back hatch, which, let's see here. What year was her Honda CRV? Honda CRV mentions. Okay. So the Honda CRV dimensions. What year was that? 2013. Okay, that's what I was thinking. 20. trying to find it. Here we go. Let me show this. 2013, 30 cargo volume, cargo with seat. What does it mean with seat area? I don't know. I was just kind of looking for like the cargo volume, 51 to 70 cubic feet, 37.2 cubic feet average. I just need the measurements. I don't know. Okay, so we contacted Jagger earlier. We wanted comment on if he had seen the Adventures with Purpose. And he told us that it was, and this is what he said, what he thought about the video, which in my opinion tells me a lot about what's going on in his mind, in my opinion. He said that the video was, quote, complete bullshit, end quote. So we reached out to Jagger to say, just wanted to know, hey, what is your thoughts on, hey, have you seen the Adventures with Purpose video? And he said, yes, it is complete bullshit. Now, my question to Jagger is, why would you think that? Because in my opinion, Adventures with Purpose has done nothing but God's work on earth. I mean, they're amazing. They do this literally on donations. They don't charge the family nothing, and they get results. I agree, Lisa. I think it does say a lot. And I can tell you probably 100% that Jagger is watching us right now because we gave him a link to our live. And as you know, we've talked to Jagger and he's been in our chat. So thank you. Let me check that. I really want to know the actual dimensions on that. I appreciate that. Maybe I just haven't got that email yet. Sweet Tea and Biggie, I haven't got that email yet. Make sure you send it to the correct email because I don't see it yet. But my thoughts are why something happened, obviously, at this party. And in the video, it talks, there was a rumor that Kylie could have ended up in a fight. Was it over a guy? Were they fighting over someone? That's to be said. So we just don't know at this point. Probably because Jagger knows exactly. Well, it's very possible. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Sorry, my husband is not home. And I have kids. So, Jagger says in this, my beautiful angel, I miss you so effing much. I know you are still here with me, but I just want to be in your arms once again. I miss the midnight drives, listening to the country on the back roads. I miss you always having my back and babysitting me when my, you know what, needed it. I know we promised each other that we would live long enough to sip margaritas on the beach in Santa Barbara and watch the sunset. One day we will, but just in a different life. I hope the peace you feel right now is what you wanted. I hope you are happy and living it up with X and Peep. If anything, I'm jealous you get to go their shows and I don't. LOL. Rest easy, my love. Thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate it. Now, is Jagger in here? If he is in here, don't be disrespectful. Now, to me, Jagger is of age. I know that much. I want to know. Jagger said something to us that I don't know, it stuck out to me a little bit when we first got in contact with him. And he just said, you know, I need to go back and find the text, but it's something to the effect of make sure everyone knows that I was several hours away with my dad. Check my text messages or okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Okay, I'll show you this. In my opinion, something is off. And nobody is saying Jagger did this, but I have questions. for her, just what Mary T said, Jagger, and the other friends. All right. Okay, that says forbidden. Now, is this doesn't appear to be a 2009 in the CRV. I mean, it might be, but to me, it's not. Let me see. Check something. Yeah, because yeah. I mean, to me, that doesn't appear. Thank you for joining with Adventures with Purpose, the membership. Thank you. He did tell her not to do anything stupid before the party. My jealous ex used to say that all the time if I wasn't with him, because he would worry I'd cheat. That's what I got from him. Well, this is my thing. Let's say, all hypothetical, what I'm saying right now. Let's say, with if Jagger was there, allegedly. Did I write 2009? Shit. Okay. For instance, he was there, and more than CRV trunk. Okay. This is the area of the trunk in a 2013. Now, in my opinion, she's not going to float up through here and then sink. And this is my opinion. This is based. Okay. Based upon, I've worked at a funeral. I have been around recovered remains from water. But in no means am I an expert. Yeah, I mean, there's just no way in HE double hockey sticks, in my opinion, that if she was driving that car when she has an area out on one side, a halfway out on the other, and she's found in the back, we do not know if her phone was found in with her. We do not know that. In my opinion, there is a reason why there was a caravan that left very quickly that night, something went down and people just wanted to get the hell out of there before either A, the cops was called with drugs, alcohol, minors, you know, they just didn't want to be associated with it. But we do know that there appears at least to be some type of Apple device charger. To me, it looks like an iMac charger, or not an like a MacBook rather. So, who broke the driver's side window? That is a very good question. That is a very good question. It was found like that, and we don't know. We don't know. It's just extremely shocking what, to me, I didn't think Adventures with Purpose during this wonderful live earlier would say as much as they did, but they was as transparent as they could possibly be. Jagger was her ex, but they stayed friends. He's the one acting like and saying he was her boyfriend, jealous and controlling much. Well, see, I think that potentially, whether it was Jagger or not, but they did say he was tall, but the driver of the tow truck, he said he was 6'3", and the guy was shorter than him, but he was tall, skinny, maybe a little bit of acne on his face, and he had a hat on and his hair stuck out over the hat. They said they did not check to see if the vehicle what gear was in, but when they did pull it out, the wheels were moving, which shows and appears that it was in neutral. So I'm going to drop the link. Anybody who wants to come up, you are welcome to come up. This is the thing. Just be mindful of other people's time, because there will most likely be a lot of people that comes up, and we just have to get to everyone. So you're more than welcome. We would love to have you up. I would love to have you up. But we just have to be mindful so we can get to everyone. So was Jagger there when the car was pulled out? No, he was not there. Now, Sammy said that they were play fighting to, keep the entertainment going. To me, that's odd. Now, I've never, yes, what's the story with calling the tow truck? We will get to that. The window broke by, we do not know that. That was not said. Adventures with Purpose did not say that. They said when they saw, let's say, for instance, it was broke because it was moved, right? It still doesn't explain the other one of them down and one on each side. Oh, my girl Camille's. Hey, girl. Camille?
Hey, hey.
Hey, I can barely hear you, my dear.
Okay, let me Can you hear me better now?
Yep, a little bit. Still a little
Okay.
low, but I can hear you a little better.
Okay, this is what I was just kind of thinking from the beginning
Hmm?
before today. I don't know. I can't get this out of my head. I kind of get like a mean girl vibe from Sammy. I don't know. It seems like there may have been some jealousy because it seemed like Kylie could always, people she drew people in. And I don't, you even just by looking at her pictures, and even, Sammy, she doesn't draw me in as, oh, I could walk up and talk to her. She'd be totally cool. And I just wonder, I mean, did in her not, she's all like not showing that she's upset or anything. And Mags, who is her best friend, she got the hell out of there kind of quick. And you didn't see her on camera a whole lot. And I just, that more seems to me like how the best friend would, that's how I would be. I mean, like, I don't even know if I can hardly say my best friend's name without breaking down. But it just seemed like, I don't know, I got this mean girl vibe, like jealousy kind of, and I don't know, if Jagger even fits into that scenario, at all. But that's
Hmm.
that's just kind of, I don't know, that's kind of what I kind of got from the very beginning.
See, I think of when I think of Kylie, based upon what I have seen of her just talking, to me, she sounds, in my opinion, she sounds like she likes control of a situation.
Mhm.
She, the way she was talking about it, we like to keep our group very small, and everything. And she was saying, like, I won't tell anyone, even if, even if I have to go to jail, I won't give anyone's name out or anything, something to that effect is what she said.
Right.
So,
And then it seemed like the first time that you heard from Mags and she was standing next to Sammy, she looked frightened to me. And
mhm,
she repeated the exact same story then at that point. I don't
right.
know, but that's I was just gonna throw that out there. I that just keeps rotating in my mind, this just mean girls thing, and
Yeah,
how far did it go?
it's very, very possible. S. Cummings, thank you for that. What if she didn't know her back window was down? I mean, anything is possible. To me, that's not probable, though, in my opinion. But yeah, it could be possible. But I mean, to me, there's just too much little things adding up. And also, based upon adventures with purposes, with their expertise, this is not their first rodeo, right? This is not the
All
first
right.
time that they've said, "Oh, this looks like foul play. Maybe there could be something here. There may not be, but there could be, right?"
Right.
So he came up and he said, something doesn't look right, in his opinion. And then Jared said, "Hey, you know what? If he doesn't know, but he said he wouldn't have kept that in there if he didn't at least consider that it would, could have happened." So,
Right. And Jared doesn't, he does not come on, or he's not in their videos throwing accusations. He tries to keep everything clean and concise.
absolutely. Hey,
Well, thank
Court.
you, Justin.
Hey,
Have
Justin.
a good night.
Thank you, Camille. Take care, honey.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Hey,
I was with Staff Girl earlier, and we were talking about like the measurements of like the back seat to get into like the very back, like into the hatch. And there were like a bunch of people coming on and talking about like the measurements and like telling us, and they were saying it wouldn't make sense. But a guy named Don got on, and he was actually in an accident to where his truck like went underwater,
Yes.
and he was sober. He wasn't under the influence, and he his when he like went underwater, his truck, he was 12 feet under, and his truck turned upside down. So he wasn't able, like, he was completely disoriented, like,
Hmm.
to the point where if he would even try to get into the back of his truck, he wouldn't have been able to. So he was talking about the fact that she was all the way in the back, and there was no way he could have even made it into the back. So
Right.
it was like, I don't know, it was just really crazy because he actually went through it, and they were saying that she was all the way in the back. So I don't know. It's just really confusing to me.
I actually heard that, and I was listening to Zav, and that was a very interesting point. I mean,
Right.
I don't see, in my opinion, how she would have made it uh, back there,
Hmm.
um, particularly with two windows.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, um,
And the window that was open and the other one that was down.
yes,
So if she was conscious, wouldn't she have tried, you know what I mean, to like go
right.
through either the broken window or the one that was down?
I mean, that is what would make the most sense. But in my opinion,
Hmm.
that those windows were down for potentially a reason, and that
Right.
is,
That it
you
was
know,
foul play, right?
yes,
Yeah,
correct,
that's what I'm thinking.
correct.
It just, none of it makes sense. When he came on and said that, like, it blew my mind because I was like,
Oh,
now we have like a witness, not to her, but a witness to somebody that has been through that same exact situation.
exactly.
So,
And I mean, I, I, you couldn't pick my mouth up off the floor, or
well, me either.
like I was shaking. I just could not even.
Well, especially the way he explained it, because when he was talking about it, I was picturing this poor girl. And this, when you think about him, like, this is a man, you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
and she's a tiny 16-year-old girl.
right.
So, like, hearing what he went through and how disoriented he was, he said if it wasn't for his friend that was with him, he would have died. So, like, it blew my mind. Like, it made me so sad to hear that and to think about what she went through. If he went through that as a large adult man, what a young girl her size and her age went through. If she
Right.
even was conscious, if it, you know what I mean? If it wasn't foul play, which I feel like it was.
In my opinion, I feel like it was too. And,
Mhm.
we're just going to have to wait.
Absolutely.
But I've kind of always been leaning toward foul play.
Yep,
In
me too.
my opinion, I just don't see how she's just going to drive that
Right.
and just, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't. Especially like if you think about it, like a young girl, she's leaving a party. Even if like some people are saying, well, if she went like this way, she would be fine. But if she made like, I think they were saying if she made the right turn, it goes right into like that lake.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, if you think about it though, like once she starts getting in, like I just can't picture somebody being intoxicated and being able to drive her way all the way into the water and keep going and not being able to get out with the windows. So
Yes.
it just
And
hasn't
I
been
mean,
common.
and we did speak to Jagger right before Adventures with Purpose actually came on Zav Girls panel
Mm-hmm.
aired, and we asked him, what is your thoughts on, have you seen the Adventures with Purpose, video? And he said, that in his opinion, basically it was bullshit.
Right.
Now, I mean, like, I get it. People grieve
Of
differently,
course.
but I would be thankful that these people came, found her, and at least gave them answers.
Right.
That's my opinion, though. But I mean, and maybe I'm wrong, but to me, it just seems crazy.
Right. Well, we could all be wrong. You know what I mean? But it does
Absolutely.
all add up to a certain thing. And I believe that Adventures with Purpose said that the car, what they said it wasn't, did they say it wasn't in drive? Oh, no, no,
But
no, no. They said they didn't look.
yes, they said they didn't look, but
Okay,
when they
that's
were
what.
pulling it out, the wheels were moving, which indicates that it was in neutral.
Okay. Okay.
Because
That's what it was.
when a car is not in neutral, it
Not going to go.
it goes, the wheels
Yep.
don't move. It kind of skips more or less.
Absolutely. So
So
if you're gonna literally push somebody into a lake, you're gonna have to put the car in neutral,
right.
And well, okay, so my one thought, do you remember when they were talking to what's his name? The guy that always gets on and speaks about the same stuff. Mikkel, or oh my gosh, what's his name?
Ikmel?
Yes, Ikmel. He was talking to the one guy, and he was talking about how all the older guys go to those parties or were at that party because his cousins knew or whatever, and the cocaine that they bring is laced with stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it made me think, so what if she was so under the influence, she ended up doing that, and she was so intoxicated that she used something that was laced, and she ended up ODing, and she was there at the very end and did it overdosed, and the kids didn't know what to do, or the adults were freaked out, and they threw her into her car and put it in the lake. That was
Yeah.
my initial thought.
Yeah. I mean, when Sammy talks about how they went to the car
Mm-hmm.
to charge their phone,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Now we see in the video, I showed these pictures earlier, which I'm not showing the video or anything of Adventures with Purpose, but I did show some photos,
Mm-hmm.
some screenshots. You can see here, I'll show it. You can see to me, it looks like an iMac charger, or
Okay.
not an iMac, but what is it, Air Mac, or I don't know, Big Mac. I don't know.
No, I know.
Something Mac.
It's something, Mac.
but you see, there's a charger right there.
Yep, there is.
That's that, and what is it? Fuck, I can't even. It's a MacBook Air. There we
Like
go.
a laptop.
Yes, like a laptop
Yep.
charger. That's what, in my opinion, that appears to be.
It does.
And then this right here,
That's alcohol.
yes, that is alcohol.
And that's what all the young kids drink now. So
Yes. And to me, this looks like it's the visor.
it
This to me
does.
looks like maybe a hairbrush or like a flat iron or something. I don't know, but
Yep.
I'm still out on that. But
And then it looks like a hoodie, right?
ooh, where? Let me see.
Like behind the straightener.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very possible.
Because they were talking about the hoodie she had on.
Yes.
So that's what made me think that was what that was.
Yes.
I mean, it could be a blanket, it could be whatever. It's so blurry, but I mean, all the talk about the hoodie, like that's what my mind went to.
Absolutely. I mean, it's, who's to know at
Right.
this, but it just seems to me, all of these little things, in my opinion, point to a more clearer picture.
Yeah. Well, they were talking about as well as when whoever did call that tow truck driver with that like super weird whatever that went on conversation, and they were saying that the person that called, the female I believe, was asking about super weird things, and she asked about if you put the seatbelt into, like, was it her belt or something, if you put your seatbelt into your belt, if you would like be able to get out of it. Do you
Right.
remember that part?
Yes. Which
So
is
that's so
crazy.
weird. Like, that kind of shows that you're trying to get advice. Like, as a young kid or whoever it was, you're scared and you're trying to figure out how to make sure that this person stays inside of the vehicle underwater, you know?
Hmm.
So I don't know. There's just so many weird things, especially with the tow truck driver call and the stuff in the car and the windows and where she was in the back. Like, all of it really does lead to foul play to me.
What did you think when Jared said about the theory that could blow our mind, and that he said, the two people moving around in the car?
About, oh my God. I kind of was speechless when he was talking about that, to be honest. I don't even know what to say about that part. I think a lot of this is like making me not have anything to say back.
Right.
To be honest. Like,
Yeah. It's like
to be honest.
Hey, April, can you mute or exit out of your YouTube so we don't get any feedback?
Yeah, I would like to hear somebody else's answer about that for sure, because I'm speechless.
Avi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I was just waiting my turn.
Go ahead. What is your opinion?
I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. What is your opinion, Avi?
I don't think that the tow truck driver actually saw Kylie. I think it was someone posing as Kylie, is what I think.
I mean,
Is that far-fetched?
no, it's
No.
not far-fetched. I mean, that could be something. I mean, I don't like conspiracy theories, but
Right.
it could be even something as far as, this is total theory, guys, not a fact whatsoever when I say this. But planting like an alibi. Oh yeah, I saw this girl. Maybe they didn't know that the trucks
That's
had
what I'm
cameras and
thinking.
stuff.
Yeah, because the tow truck driver now that he's been called to the car, now he notices this is the car, blonde-haired girl. It's just so odd. And I think what stuck out to me the most, there were so many ways that somebody could have escaped the car, being that there was a window that was halfway down, there was a window that was busted out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if I'm sounding crazy or not, but it does
Not at
make me
all.
wonder if that was in fact Kylie, right? I don't know why, but whenever I listened and watched, I was like, the very first thing that I thought was that tow truck driver did not see Kylie.
I mean, it's possible. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, panel, but didn't Adventures with Purpose say that they confirmed whoever that the guy was there? Meaning they can, do you get what I'm saying? Like they confirmed that the person in the hat was someone. They didn't say quite who.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw this in chat, a lot of people talking about it, and this is talking about can can they get fingerprints from water? that's and this says studies have shown fingerprints can be recovered from certain surfaces, metal, glass, and plastics after being submerged for days. For this reason, every item recovered from the water should be checked for prints if the item who found on the surface would normally be processed for prints.
I mean, but like, okay, so what in her car would you think that fingerprints would be like important about? Because they were all in the car, you know what I mean? Like charging their
Sure.
phone or whatever during the party. So, what fingerprints do you think on what would be like specific, you know?
I don't know. I mean,
Right.
because I mean, as far as if you're talking like if somebody did something as
Yeah.
far as a defense or something, say you found one of their fingerprints on the phone, right? Well, they could say, well, I borrowed their phone and made this call or this text message. That was actually me,
Right.
but also it would have to cooperate.
Absolutely. I
But
think
also, they try to, I don't know, I just feel like, sorry, my mind's going crazy with this
mine is
case.
too.
But
Me too, girl.
it's like, someone made sure to mention that they were, back and forth to her car, charging phones and stuff like that. So it's, even if fingerprints were retrieved,
Yep.
it's like, okay, we're in the clear now because we did these things. And I'm not saying that this is definitely foul play. I'm just saying, why is it still an ongoing investigation? Because if it was in fact an accident, don't you think they would have already ruled that as an accident by now? Or do these things really take this long to
Yes.
figure out?
They can, yes.
They
Yeah,
can.
they
Well,
can take this one because they're gonna. This is such a high profile case that they
yeah.
really, really do need to check. Vet Girl makes an excellent point. When the diver said, I see a
Yep.
shoe, he was on the passenger side. There's like a little small back window on the side.
Like
And
two tiny back windows, right?
correct. Back window moved to the hatchback. Then the driver's side back. In my opinion, she was laying horizontal in the
Yep.
hatchback with uh, head head driver. I don't know what that means. But that's actually an excellent point.
Yeah. And that was one of the big things that we were talking about on the other panel, was that she was laying across the back seat, and that was like where everything came in, where like was she able to like get in the back, because if the car was going down, she'd be following the air bubble, and that would be the last part to go under. And and then about the car flipping over, like it just, everything is just so up in the air. Like, was she already in there? Was she following the air? Like, why was she in the hatch?
Yeah, I mean, this is so like they went. So whoever went to that party that night,
Mm-hmm.
everyone had a phone. I can almost promise that, right? It's 2022. Everyone has a phone, generally, a cell phone. Um,
Hello?
and most people probably wasn't, they weren't going there for someone to end up missing and dead.
Mm-hmm.
You can pretty safely well say that.
Yeah.
So, like if Jagger was there, for instance, they're going to know that almost immediately that he was there, even if he said he wasn't there, because he's going to have his phone and it's going to ping off
Gonna
of the
pin.
tower.
Yeah.
Now, if that phone goes dark for a certain amount of hours, and then it pops up again, that raises a lot of questions, you know. So,
That is true, because if a phone gets turned off, it goes dark.
right, that To me that's a lot of suspicions. Mama Middle, you're welcome to talk. How are you doing? Haley, Kelly,
I'm
everyone?
good. How are you?
Good, Evie.
So I was
Hello, how are you?
thinking that now Jared did say that they did positively ID the male, but not female that was
Correct.
at the car. So if it was Kylie, they would have been able to make that identification.
You
So
would think, yes.
yes.
Mhm.
So in my opinion, she was in the back of that car. If this is true, like if this turns out to be true, and Jared automatic obviously feels like it is,
Hmm.
um, then I'm assuming that these two people, and if they already identified the male, positively ID'd him the way Jared said it, then this male must have already been on their radar.
It's yes. It's
Mhm.
very, very probable.
Yes.
Very probable. Um, I mean, just to be, blunt about it. I mean, these are young kids. They're not as good as covering their tracks as someone
Yep.
who's a little bit more experienced with the world.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Um, I mean, sometimes I guess they may be, but in my opinion, they're still very, some
I
of
mean,
them.
that's just assuming that it was
Right.
kids in the car.
Right.
But I couldn't see, like, everybody's saying that it's, the boyfriend, but so experienced with cars, how would he not know how to that the car was in neutral, or you know what I mean? So that kind of throws me off of that path.
And to piggyback on what she's saying, I can't see your name because my vision sucks. Sorry. But why would someone ask about how to operate a seatbelt? I mean, it's pretty
Right.
self-explanatory no
Hmm.
matter what car you're in, no matter what country you're in, if you're a 5-year-old. I mean,
Right.
who asks
Right.
such a question?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was one of my things. Like, why would you call and ask ask about how to do that? It doesn't make any sense. And if you think about it, like a younger person would be the one to call and ask that because they're freaking out, you know.
Mhm.
Hey,
So,
Justin.
Like, there's a lot of obviously there's a lot of evidence that you know what I mean. Some
yeah.
Right.
contradictions and stuff like that in this whole story. You know what I mean? But Jared seemed pretty adamant about this, and so I have to assume that we have to take this seriously and thinking that it's not who maybe we're thinking. That might be somebody totally different.
Well, didn't they
Hello.
also say that the mother was gonna keep the like what was in her system private, like she wasn't gonna let it be known to
Oh, the
public. The
toxicology, yeah.
toxicology report,
Mhm.
yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah.
even if it was what I said earlier about, her doing something and it just wasn't what she thought it was, and, it was foul play from there. I mean, I don't think we would even get to know that because the mother doesn't want anybody to know.
Yeah. And I think
So,
that's law, right? That if it's murder.
well, and also I feel like if it was foul play, although we don't know the toxicology report, that it would still come out that it was foul play, although we didn't know, like, get that part. You know what I mean? Because they'll still let something be known to the public.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to me, there's a lot saying that it's either somebody she knew or somebody she doesn't know. So I'm kind of
yeah.
on the fence about both because some make sense, some doesn't. The description is so clearly the
Hmm.
boyfriend that it makes me question.
I
You
just,
know what I mean?
Or
I
the
mean, but
ex-boyfriend.
they do
Mhm.
say that he was with
Ex-boyfriend, yes.
his parents, right?
Mhm.
So if he wasn't with his parents, wouldn't his parent? Well, I don't know. Some parents don't. Like if you think about the Gabby Petito situation, but
I mean, he could have
like,
drove. He could have drove from his place and back there and back
oh
before
no, he could
anybody.
have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I researched that as well, like
Yeah.
how far. But you would think though that like his parents, if they were good people, they'd come forward and say, "Well, he really wasn't with us. That's he did leave
Mhm.
for this amount of time." But
Well,
parents
I mean, they could have been sleeping while he was gone. Who knows?
that too. There's just so many like things that are going through our heads right now, and I think that's the hard part because we're trying to put
Mhm.
so many pieces together.
Right. So someone put this, and sorry, I keep doing that. I don't get my mouse. But the fact her ex-boyfriend fits the description to a T, very relevant. This weird post about I hope the peace you feel is what you wanted. Creepy chills, and that is the what Jagger had. I think it was off Instagram
Yeah.
where he talked about, and then he wrote, I'm jealous you get to go there before something to the shows and I don't. LOL. I mean, it's just a little,
You're
I
right.
don't, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little questionable. However,
Yeah.
he's 16, so I can't. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
There's a
and like,
lot of things
Could be
that's been
something really
rubbing me the.
personal.
Oh, sorry.
no,
Oh,
go
that's
ahead.
okay.
No, there's just been a lot of things that have been rubbing me the wrong way about his posts
A lot.
lately. I don't know if
Mhm.
anybody agrees with me or not,
I
but
do.
Oh yeah,
okay.
100%, girl.
I
absolutely.
need a cheerleader, please.
No, I'm cheerleading you right now. I got you.
There is just something very obsessive and suspicious, and it's so odd too because he's supposed to be an ex-boyfriend, and we've dealt with loss. Okay, we all, I'm sure all of us
Oh
here, we've
yeah.
all dealt with loss, and we know
Yep.
we say things and we do things that we cannot even take back. Lord knows, I wish I could
Oh
have
yeah,
taken
me
some of the
too.
stuff I've said and done during my grieving processes, but it's just coming off to me. It's starting to, it's like, rubbing the cat the wrong way. You can't rub the cat the wrong way. They don't like
They're
that.
gonna
It's
bite you.
starting to rub me
Yeah.
the wrong way. At first it was like, okay, he's grieving, he misses her, he loves her. But now it's becoming excessive, obsessive. I don't know. Does anybody else agree?
No, I do. I absolutely agree. I think that all the things he posted at the beginning were weird, and I mean, I didn't say anything about it like during everybody's like chats in here because I didn't want to sound bad because everybody was talking about how like like they felt bad for Jagger, and of course I did too. But his posts were kind of like rubbing me the wrong way as well. So,
Well,
I
the
mean, I
first
think
thing that drove me crazy, the very first thing was when Jagger was on the news and said we are going to, or she's fine. You know what I mean? She's fine, and we are going to find her.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, a couple of them did say that. They were like, "We have that feeling she's alive, and we're gonna find her." Like,
yeah, but I don't know, just something. Just call me crazy, but just something about that struck
no,
me as weird. But I
no,
still have to wonder, like,
you're not
there's
crazy, girl.
there's
We
just
all have all these thoughts, so nobody's crazy.
there's so much more, like, now that what Jared's saying, kind of, and the, the roadside assistance guy, there's maybe it wasn't him. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
So, Sleuthy writes on Twitter, confirmed Adventure with Purpose called Lori the aunt and Sally grandmom as soon as she was found on speaker,
Hmm.
and quote, she is in the back of the vehicle. She's not in the driver's seat. It looks suspicious to me. One window halfway down,
Yeah,
one window all the way down. Call the authorities.
we got one window broken and then one down for
Yeah,
Yeah.
the passenger side was broken, and the other back windows were down.
Yeah, I mean, the one was broken, but maybe they thought it was down at the time.
Mm.
And also, we have to understand that Adventures with a Purpose, this is literally their job. They have recovered many of vehicles with bodies in the vehicle. I could just tell by the looks on their faces, their reaction to all of this. It gave me this deep sinking gut feeling like we've watched their episodes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're very professional. They've got their stuff under control. They maintain their professionalism, and this one
I
is just
donate to them every month.
they were
Right.
shook. They were shook, y'all. Am I alone?
They
They were
were.
shook.
Mhm.
They were like, holy bleep. I'm not gonna say it, but that's how I
Right.
saw the look on his face. I've never seen Doug like that
No,
in any of the videos.
I
They
have.
they do this for a living, so for them to come up and react the way that they did, I was like, oh, this is bad.
Well, not only that, but all the responses they're having to this, that they're like going into panels and speaking and like doing everything they're doing. Like, I've never seen them go on
Yeah,
to panels and talk. I've never seen them go this far
me
into
either. And
saying,
when Jared popped up in Zav and said that, she was all the way in the back,
Mm.
that shook me.
Yeah.
And then when he said, it's gonna blow our minds if everything gets to come out, that shook me too. I'm like, oh God. Oh.
I mean, has anybody else ever seen them like go this in depth into
Mm-mm.
like one of their cases, or like am I
Never.
wrong?
Never. I think a lot of it is like damage control because of that PI guy too. Like they kind of had to, but they've never. But I think they're passionate about this one for sure.
Well,
Was-
that's what I'm saying. Have they ever been? Has anybody seen them this passionate as to come out and say like they believe this and they believe that? Like, I've never seen them come on to like panels and talk, or you know what I mean. I've never seen
Yeah.
any of that. So I feel like if they saw what they saw and they think what they think, then there's really something going on.
Well, I want
That
to
question
believe in
that
my
just came up
heart.
about young. They did do another young. It was a boy who had committed suicide. He was
Mhm.
16, I believe.
Oh, that was actually in my county that
Was
I
it?
went to school
Oh,
with
wow.
with the Trudy and Judy. They were twins that I was in
Oh
class with.
wow.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you, Don.
But yeah, and
Wait, so-
maybe it was because this was a fresh case and it was so fresh and so new. Maybe that's the reason why they were shook, because a lot of the times they mostly do cold cases. In my heart, I want to believe people are good.
Yes.
I know they're not,
Well,
but in my
what's
heart, I want to
Justin?
believe.
Absolutely not.
Let's look at what Justin's pulling up.
So this is a minute of the video. Everybody mute, please. This is when he comes up.
That's what we do it for, bro. Good job. Good job. It's positive, you know? All right.
She's in the back of the vehicle.
Okay.
She's not in the driver's seat. It looks suspicious to me.
Yeah.
Vehicle's upside down. Some of the one window is halfway down. One window is all the way down. Call the authorities.
So guys, if you are able to donate to Adventures with Purpose, it is very much appreciated. They do this for free. They go out and literally give people answers. So it's, that's very heavy. It's very heavy.
The way he came up and like, I know he was out of breath, obviously, because he was underwater, but like, it just seemed like he was in so much shock. Like, it sounds dumb for me to say he was out of breath because, yeah, he was underwater, but I feel like what he saw just like crushed his heart. You know what I mean? Seeing her in the very back, he didn't expect that.
Right.
And that shows right away that something was wrong. The way he reacted was so just, I watch their videos like constantly, and I have never seen a reaction that way. Like, it broke my heart, literally.
Yes. This is on Zap Girl.
Bust.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
Jared, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
First of all, you're awesome. And would you be able to comment on like the verification of the tow truck driver dash cam at all?
So the footage of that one was locked up by his company. And so the moment that it was made known that this might be a part of something, they just locked it down. He does not, because it's not his company. It wasn't his. He doesn't own the truck. It's now in the database cloud somewhere. But everybody is aware of that, and the law enforcement is following up on that. So we do not have it. He does not have it.
Okay, so
but what I
they need
can
a warrant to get it.
what I can say and touch on this is that, and this will be in our full released unedited interview if it goes this direction, but let me just say it here, is that Nick thought that this was so odd that once he was done with the call, he pulled down the road, pulled over, called his girlfriend, and he told her what had happened. So this is where we now have her story, and she was there as well, that you didn't see her on camera at that moment in time, but we do have her on camera as well, that she collaborates his story as to he was there and how odd this was. And she remembers the day because it was her dad's birthday, so she does not forget that it was Saturday.
Oh my God.
Can you give us more description of the guy?
But again, I mean, I don't know Nick from, anybody. I don't have any reason to, discredit or think otherwise. And don't say, don't hold this, as the golden, the golden law here.
Mhm.
As 100% true, as 100% truth or fact. I don't know, until more information comes out or something happens that can collaborate and verify this.
That's a lot. It's just a lot.
Yeah, it is.
And here's a photo, as you can see, like this is broken.
It's so
And
pretty.
they also said about 60% of the time that it's very common for the cars to be on their top.
Right.
So,
Oh my God.
wow.
She is so gorgeous. Every time I see a picture of her, like, my heart sinks.
Yeah.
Just to think about what she went through. I mean, if she was conscious, like, everything that goes through my head, like, I don't know. And if she wasn't, like, what happened before, I don't know. That poor girl didn't deserve anything she went through, whether she was not conscious in the water or, you know what I mean, she was. Because no matter what, something happened to her before she was in the water if she was unconscious. Like, I don't know. There's so many thoughts going through my head about what could happen.
Let's listen to this.
Yes.
In that direction. Her vehicle is missing her 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah, tomorrow marks 2 weeks since the Truckee teenager disappeared after attending a party at a campground.
She was either hungover or just had a really rough day. She looked distressed.
When do you think that this took place? Parked his van right here, facing that direction. Her vehicle was parked right over here. I have set a radius of 10 miles around Prosser Creek Reservoir. We're going to work hard to clear Stampede, Independence, Boca, and Prosser Creek, all within that 10-mile range. I've just located in the corner of this cove here a target that I cannot identify. 18 different agencies, over 19,000 man hours have been put into this. I'm a firm believer in second chances. However, some things don't deserve forgiveness. Taking the life of a 16-year-old deserves zero forgiveness.
You see that?
It doesn't make sense, though. It's only 10 feet of water. We definitely have something man-made. If this is her, this means all hope is lost as far as her still being out there, her being found safe.
What would you want to say to Kylie tonight?
I love her so much. So many people love her. And we're all looking and we're trying so hard. And I'm so sorry we haven't found you yet, but we're not giving up and just hang in there, sweetie. This life is soon coming home.
I don't want to find her. I want to be able to clear all this water and be able to tell the family she's not here. She's not here. Our job is to be here to find the where.
Confirm. I see the vehicle and the license plate. We have just found Kylie's vehicle. Over.
So that is the preview of Adventures with Purpose's video. So
That is so sad.
it really is.
You can just I don't know, you can just hear it in their voice about how disturbed they were.
Yes. This is Adventures with Purpose, explaining how they pull the vehicle out of the water and preserve the evidence at the same time. They did not pull Kylie Rodney's vehicle out of the water themselves, according to this person.
Right. Yeah. So when we pull this vehicle, now if you just rip the vehicle out, the suction that's sitting on the windshield and the roof, you hold the potential of it sticking and ripping, and the contents of the vehicle sucking out as well with it. So when you don't want to do that. So what we want to do is we'll rig the front wheels, which are accessible. I verified that. The rear wheels are accessible, intact, sturdy. I grabbed all of the suspension components. They're solid. Plus, we can get to the frame. Yep. So we can put one winch line. We'll marry these two connections together, a separate winch line, and we'll marry these two connections together. And we'll pull on this winch line just enough to take the tension, to put just a little bit of tension on it. And the same with this. And once tension is, there's no slack on the lines, we'll want to slowly pull the front end. Just slowly, just like that. Just slowly, instead of just ripping it like that.
You want to get that suction off there.
Yeah. So slowly pulling the suction. And then once it's up,
it releases itself.
Yeah. And I feel confident enough there is absolutely zero current. There's nothing in front of the car. As long as the lines are tension, I want to be on comms in front of the car. And just I can communicate with you and you can communicate with the record driver. Yeah. Just keep going just a little bit.
Yeah,
keep going just a little bit.
My set of comms won't work with me today, so I go find the other one.
Okay, keep going just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. And once the car's like this, I can safely reach under a little bit just to make sure we're intact.
From the side, don't go into the hood.
Right, because if we're not intact, then we
change game plan.
Then we need to completely lift the front end up like that, so whatever's in there slides down to the back, and then.
But you also.
Justin, I'm gonna hop down. Have to go get my son. So
sure. Okay. Thank you, Free Spirit. I appreciate your donation. Thank you very much.
Bye. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
It just it just makes you really think about what really happened.
Absolutely.
And it was really not far off of the bank.
Oh, you want to cry? think the thing that really gets me there is that her grandpa is playing with her.
Yes. Kylie really enjoyed, and it just shows you the person, behind this that, it's just terrible.
Yeah, she didn't deserve what happened to her, no matter what.
I feel like if, think about everybody that's come together to discuss this case. I believe that if we truly believed that it was just an accident, there wouldn't be still so much discussion. But I think our guts and our hearts are telling us otherwise. And that's the reason why it's gained so much movement, as it should,
Absolutely.
because if not anybody else, her family, they need these answers, right?
Absolutely.
This is a sad photo to me. This is a very sad. This photo really breaks my heart
Yeah.
because he's just there wanting an answer.
The one thing that also breaks my heart is that like everybody was coming together and saying like when she comes home, she's going to be so happy to see all the love that, you know, all the love that she had, like everybody that came together and like all the, like they had all the kids come without the parents to talk and like say how they felt, like just everything they had. They even had like the little concert that went on, like, and they literally truly were saying, we want her to come home and see all this. Like in our hearts, we believe she's still alive. And I think that that was one thing that also got to me when I was on Zap Girls chat when everybody found out that the car had been found, and you know they were saying like we don't know if it's her or whatever, but everybody really knew. And right after that she started playing like songs that she loved, and she made that video with her grandpa and her singing, and like everything was just like, oh my god, because everybody really truly were saying that they felt that she was still alive in their heart, and that was like the people closest to her. So when it all came down and she was alive when it all came down with Ryan Upchurch and like everybody, and it was just like, what in the world? Like it was just horrible, you know. And with the sheriff also saying, we searched that part, don't go in there, like I feel like that's kind of strange. And then, you know, they went in there anyway and they found her, and then that was when it all came out, and it was like, what is going on, you know?
So this is the license plate, and obviously I would assume this is the back license plate, and just right in front of that is where Kylie would have been found if this is the back license plate.
Yeah.
Some states have front and back license plates. Some states only have back license plate. To me, this appears, I mean, it may be the front license plate, but
I feel like it is the back though, because they were saying that that's the bumper sticker down below the Honda symbol. It's really small right here, but they were saying that that's a little sticker. I can't remember what it was, like a deer, like the horns or like whatever, not the horns, but whatever you call it. They were saying it was a bumper sticker. So that made me think that was the back of the car for sure.
The Ram sticker is above the Honda symbol.
So, yeah.
You can't have this many people at a party and someone not know something.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have, if there's 300 people, you can't have 600 eyes and cameras everywhere that we all use every day.
Yeah.
And then everybody be quiet. It's not, it just doesn't sit right, in my opinion.
It doesn't.
just does not sit right.
Mm-mm. I'm just really curious to know, like, when they do come out and tell us something. Like, I'm waiting for that moment. Like, every day I wake up, I keep trying to, like, research. Like, did something get told? Like, are they trying to let us know now? You know, because they know we're all in this. Like, they know that we're all so dedicated. And, like, I'm waiting for that moment.
You can clearly see something there.
Yep.
Clearly.
Absolutely.
I mean, she was not far out at all.
What did they say? 14 feet or something
I mean,
like
it was nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like and it appears that car was in neutral. It appears that way. We don't know that 100%, but because Adventures with Purpose said they didn't check. However, whenever they were backing out the car, the wheels were turning, which indicates that at that time it was in neutral.
Yeah. Yeah, we had talked about that because, like we
Yeah,
said, if it was in drive, it wouldn't have came out so easy, you know?
exactly.
And if somebody were to push it in, it would be in neutral. And my thought is, like, I'm curious as if something was, like, say they put a brick on the gas.
Uh-huh.
Like, did they put something on the gas pedal? Like, because nothing was said about that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious as if it was in neutral and somebody put something on the gas pedal, or if it was just in neutral and they pushed it in, you know? But
Now, if to me, like if it was, if she was driving, like say for instance, it wasn't an accident and she was driving, you would think she would have been found further out because there would have been, she would have been propelled further out.
right.
That's just my opinion.
No, I agree with that full-heartedly. I do. And
But
again, like the guy said that had his truck go under, like it would have been so hard for him to go to the very back because he was, everything that had happened, like I talked about in the beginning. So for her to end up in the very back and for her to be like the way he said, I see her feet through like that very rear window, the tiny window. And then on the other side to see like, her head and to see she was laying the way she was, it would be, I believe, honestly, from what went through in the panel earlier, for her to get all the way back and to be laying straight would be a little challenging. So I feel like somebody put her there,
Mhm.
So.
Definitely. Okay. Hello, April and Frida B.
Hi, Justice. Justin.
Hello.
Hi, Kate. Bro. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole video, but I wanted to pop in because you had said something about the video with Adventures with Purpose, where he was, where Jared was talking about theory, blow your mind or whatever he said.
Huh?
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, I remember that. You were kind of cutting out
Am I
a bit.
Still here?
Yeah, you're still here. You were kind of cutting out. Are you there?
For some reason, I'm not hearing anything.
Can you hear me? We can hear you. You're really clear.
You want to pop out and come back in? I'll remove her and then I'll. Can you hear us now, Free to be?
Oh.
Okay. Hey, Haley.
Hey.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I am honestly very confused about all of this. Clearly I missed something, and I don't know when I missed it or what happened, but I am very confused about the roadside assistance. I knew nothing about this, and I'm so confused by it. Can you kind of sum it up, or is there a video that I can watch that I missed?
Here, let me see if I can play. Give me 1 second, and I can probably play it again.
And then my other question,
Sure.
and I think that I missed this too. So are they saying that Kylie was seen with Jagger the day that she was found?
No, they're not saying that. No.
Okay, so then what's going on with Jagger? He was a positive match for what?
You're breaking up a little bit, but here, I'll just let you listen to it. And and this is what was said earlier. So just if you don't mind, just mute your thing.
But Ryan jumped on here as well, the one who never said hello. So Ryan,
how's it going, man?
Yeah, we definitely need to connect. To confession the story before, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't recorded somewhere else. Remember, what was there, like 1,500 or 2,000 tips that came in, and they have to. Things do happen. I'll just announce it right here. We have 2 other videos to be released if certain things do take place, and it's just going to be a whole. I mean, nobody knew this footage even existed from the tow truck driver, but we have the full uncut, raw, complete interview with him, as well as his girlfriend, who is a nurse. They are credible, stand-up people. They tracked us down. It was, the rolling billboard of AWP, and just seeing us pulling off of the interstate at Best Buy that first night that we got in town. We didn't track them down. It was just they saw us, just a chance encounter, and they tracked us down, and we had the interview with them. Wow. Which is why we ended up over there at Boca instead of over at Prosser to begin with. Had we ended up on Prosser based upon our normal search and the way that we do things of where were they last seen, what was last cell phone ping, we would have been right there, and we would have, on day 1 versus day 2. So,
Jared, are you saying that the reason that you went to Boca first is because of the tow truck guy, or
yeah,
because
we always go off of last known location, and so
yeah.
We have no doubt in trusting him because of his presence, his girlfriend, and that the same story was told 3 times. It was, it was from memory. It wasn't like I'm making this up on the spot. And so very credible, which gives us a new last known location.
Oh my gosh.
In this as well. And I don't know, I can't remember if we showed it on video or not, but we did make an immediate phone call to the detectives as well to verify this. Now, the thing is that you have multiple, people taking these tips, from 2 different counties and 18 different agencies. And so while the detective that we made contact with immediately on the spot, while Nick, the tow truck driver, is there with us that night, that detective that we spoke to had never heard this, this confession, this story before. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't recorded somewhere else. Remember, what was there, like 1,500 or 2,000 tips that came in, and they have to filter through all of them. So exactly. So we cannot sit here and say, well, this is completely made up story, and who is this guy just out of the blue, and there's going to be so many conspiracy theories, as as to this. Coming back to the the car and floating, and if somebody's involved or not. Like I said, if somebody is, we have the entire interview, which will just be like, you're going to be blown away with that one, as well as the full interaction with Dad and Grandpa. Right there at Lakeside versus what we cut down. We hope it's not true. We hope there's nothing more than an accident, but we don't know. At this point, we're all speculating as to what's presented before us right now. In questioning whether now that it's out, and you see that Nick in the video that we put out to members today, we can now confirm, we can put it out there publicly. Yes, she was in the back of the car. Now, the question that my wife told me is, for me, the back is the back. My wife is what part of the back? Well, she wasn't in the back seat. She was in the back. Okay? And so now when you start breaking this down, again, just even though she is a small gal, you only have so much space.
A little space.
You also have that this car is not sinking in the same way that a car with the windows up are going to sink, which would be a 2 to 10 minute float, and then the car, drops down. You have plenty of, air in there that's going to give you time to think about how you're going to escape with putting windows down versus a window that is down, which now you have nothing trapping the air, which means the vehicle is going to go under much quicker and not.
What's the time? Jared,
by the way, that's a really cool video you put out that shows people how to get out of cars, bro. I watched that, and dude, I will never forget that knowledge.
It's very helpful. I agree.
Yeah, that's awesome. 20 to 30 seconds. If the windows are open, the car does not have long, and so you don't have much time to react about. You're not going to get doors open. The moment you end up with 4 inches of water pressure against the door, that door is not coming open.
Don't you have to wait till it sets all the way on the bottom and actually sets before you open the door?
Yeah, the entire vehicle has to be full of water, and that and now you have to hold your breath for you have to be able to be in the very top corner, taking that last breath, hold your breath for 2 minutes. Dude, listen, I can only hold my breath for 20 seconds. So for me, if I relied on waiting for a car to completely fill with water and escape, I would not make not make it out.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of that, Jared, yesterday when we played some videos, and one of the things was wait till the water for the buoyancy level, and everyone's like, no, AWP says do not do that. Don't wait. Don't wait.
Well, same thing with the headrest. How many headrests don't even come off, or what if the top of the car is smashed, or we've even taken the headrest and tried to the headrest as well as another tip is grab your visor and break it off. Really difficult to get the visor off. We showed it in one of the videos, as well as using it and just trying to get out the window. Don't rely on that. I mean, you do need to get yourself, an emergency window breaker tool. I'm not here to sell them. We don't even have them on the website right now, and the reason for that is we have a unscrupulous competitor that actually has them off of the line right now. We're going through litigation with them, so we're going to end up having them back online, and we're going through that. We have a meeting with a Shopify litigation team on Friday, but this has been an ongoing thing with him. He's a terrible guy. It is what it is. In the end, but in the end, you want to state who he is. I won't say his name or his company. In the same way that we're still, even those people that we dislike and hate, or those that we protect at times, we just simply don't throw people under the bus.
Yeah,
hey, Jared, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
First of all, you're awesome. And would you be able to comment on the verification of the tow truck driver dash cam at all?
So the footage of that one was locked up by his company. And so the moment that it was made known that this might be a part of something, they just locked it down. He does not, because he is not his company. It wasn't his. He doesn't own the truck. It's now in the database cloud somewhere, but everybody is aware of that, and the law enforcement is following up on that. So we do not have it. He does not have it.
Okay.
But what I
need a warrant to get it.
What I can say and touch on this is that, and this will be in our full release unedited interview if it goes this direction. But let me just say it here. Is that Nick thought that this was so odd that once he was done with the call, he pulled down the road, pulled over, called his girlfriend, and he told her, "What? So this is where we now have the standing by that same white door."
Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me or no?
Yes, we can hear. Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay. As soon as I tried to come in, it was like, I don't know if somebody else was trying to come in. Every time I would try to come in, it would kick me off. I'm like, something's not right. So I just went off and cleared my, browser and everything and came back in. And it still had problems, so I just got in. I didn't want to interrupt the video, so if you want to finish that out, I was just going to talk about that crazy story.
What is it?
I think that Jared was, when he was referring to something that would blow your mind with another person or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
As I was saying earlier, I came in I haven't watched your video. I just saw this a little bit of it. I'm thinking he's probably maybe referring to somebody else being in the car with her when the car went down, and maybe pushed her to the back and swam out. That would make sense to Ron.
As he referred to it, he said it would be the two people that could be in the car is what.
Right. Yeah.
So,
That's, I thought maybe he was thinking it would be Kylie and somebody else in the car. Or is he saying there was two bodies in the car?
No. We can't say that. No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No.
So to me, wouldn't you think he's talking about possibly someone else being in the car with her?
No idea.
I mean, I don't know why else he would say that, two people or however he said it. I don't really remember now, but that's the only thing I could come up with is that maybe it went over somebody else was driving that vehicle and they put it in neutral, let it go in and jumped out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I have actually thought since day one there is foul play. I always thought there was a Mean Girls Club going on, like with the Heathers or what have you. Because she was so cute, so tiny. And Sammy does, like you said earlier, she seemed very controlling. By the way, I'm free to be, guys. Hi, Kay, Haley, Mark, and April, and Justin.
Hello. I don't know. We're just going to have to, we're just going to have to wait and see.
You don't have any theories about what he meant with another person? Before you answer, I also wanted to ask, because I haven't watched, what is this about a tow truck driver and a cap and a bushy hair? I didn't see or hear any of it.
There was a tow truck driver who was in the area on Saturday, and there was a guy and a girl, and the guy wore a hat. He was tall, skinny, with his hair, kind of sticking out, kind of like Jagger's does.
Yeah. Hi, little guy.
I was thinking that whenever he had mentioned two people, I was thinking that he mentioned that because of the tow truck driver. We haven't seen the interview with the tow truck driver, but I think that that's where he got the two people from. But who knows? That's just my theory.
But so Jared didn't mention the tow truck driver scenario, or
he mentioned it, but we haven't seen the interview from it.
I watched the whole episode this morning, and he's actually not a tow truck driver. He's just a roadside assistance guy. And he was called because of a dead battery. So when he got there, the battery was not dead on the car. It was another issue. I don't know, Justin, help me. I don't want to say more than what I should or shouldn't say, but there was a call made from Kylie's vehicle about the battery not cranking. And so he's a roadside assistance and was called to the location where the car was. And that's when the whole thing started with her asking about the seatbelt and everything. My question is finding out, the party was Friday night, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So finding out then that he was called out to her vehicle and it was confirmed by his girlfriend that it was Saturday. And and he said 11 or 12 o'clock.
Correct.
So
that would have been the next day?
Hold on. I've been trying to get up here and speak. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm legally blind and I can't see the buttons, and so I've been having a hell of a time getting up here. So before I kick myself off again, I'm confused though. If he was called out to a totally separate location by a different lake at 11 or 12 o'clock Saturday afternoon, when was she reported missing? Because she should have been home way before that.
She was reported missing on the 6th.
Yep. The police normally won't accept a missing person report until the missing person has been gone for 24 hours.
Yep.
Okay, so at 11 or 12 o'clock on Saturday, even her mom, her dad, none of them were like, hey, Kylie should have been home.
She was looking for her daughter. She was looking for her.
The mom
She woke up at 8 a.m. and her daughter wasn't home. So she started.
So at that time, Kylie was still alive.
She went to the Starbucks and even waited for her to show up for the planned
Oh, that's
meeting.
right. I forgot all about that.
Well,
so Kylie was still alive at that time then.
Well, no, there's the thing
We
about.
don't know. We don't know. Let's not make accusations because I don't want to be a misinformation pool here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Just make
But
sure
that's
when you
what's
guys say something,
confusing
in
me.
my opinion, or allegedly. Just
Okay. Well, that's what was confusing me is the time frame though. I'm going to go back and watch the video again, but
We're all
I
confused.
watched it early this morning.
This is the thing. We're not going to get clear answers right now.
Yep.
None of us. We can speculate till the cows come home, but we're not
Right.
going to get a clear. We're not getting anything clear.
What I do pray is that whatever, if it was foul play that Kylie was knocked out or already gone before she had to go in that water and struggle and suffer, I pray that she did not suffer. And that her spirit, that her soul, that she is at peace now. Bless that little girl's heart. This kills me. I've got kids and grandkids, and I'm going to go buy the window smashers for all three of my kids, my husband, my mother, everybody, because this whole thing has just really freaked me out big time.
Yeah.
Always remember this though: if you don't have one in your seat, your headrest comes off of your vehicle seat, you can pull that off and use the metal on that seat.
Yeah, but
it takes.
I mean, in a pinch, maybe, yeah, but you don't have time to struggle with this thing, and not every car has a head.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying for those that do have them.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to look for the window smasher too. You know.
Yeah. And it's best to keep it right in your like your visor, like not your visor, but your rear view mirror, like hanging with a zip strap or something.
Yeah, if it's not illegal in your state.
AWP did a video of them trying to remove the headrest, and it was AWP's opinion that was not going to work, and you don't have enough time.
Yeah. I mean, you.
Well, mine just slides off, so it depends on your vehicle. You know, I mean, it's just something to think about if you don't have one. You know.
Sure.
But
the other thing I wanted to say, and then I'm going to get down, is my kids are now 30, 23, and 22. But when my youngest two were still at home and when they were driving, there is a device that we got that we put inside their car, underneath, down by the gas pedal, the foot pedal, and it tracks their car.
Oh, wow.
It will track it on your cell phone. So my kids didn't even know, but my husband and I knew where their vehicles were. We could track them. And there might be people that don't know about that, but if you have young 16, 17, young kids at home and you're concerned about all the crap going on in this world, they won't even see it up underneath there. You can't even see it there. You have to actually get down there, look for it, feel for it. So they won't even know that device is there. So
you can check them by their phone as well through Google.
Well, they have to accept that. And my children
Well,
were hard-headed and stubborn and turned it off. So anyway, this device that it's out there, it's something you can do if parents, want to look into that. That's something that would help with something like this case. But I'm going to get down now, Justin. Thank you so much for letting me finally get up here.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it.
Okay.
And have a good evening.
No
Have a
problem.
good evening.
You
Well,
too.
just to let you guys know, I have not seen AWP's video at all, but I do know from what's been public knowledge now is that, it was the night of the 5th. Her mom seen she wasn't home at 8 a.m. and put the word out on her. So everybody knew and that she was looking for her 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, if the police were contacted, I don't know anything about what time, the 24-hour period or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But I kind of that she was drugged in that drink that you just saw in the car. That's I am assuming. It's just speculation, I should say.
Sure.
That because when the car went, because the engine is heavy, it would nosedive.
Thank you.
So if she was unconscious or what have you, she would float to the back, and if she was small, she might. Oh gosh, this is hard to talk about. She might have been, that might have happened because of the nosedive. And from my understanding, the car did turn and it landed on the driver's side. And I also heard that the back driver's side tire was flat. Not sure, but that's what I heard. And I also heard that in those vehicles, somebody said that they could still move, the tires could still move if it was in gear.
Yes,
so I'm not.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to watch this safety video on, which is very good. Everyone should know. This is by Adventures with Purpose. Mark, did you want to make a quick comment before we watch this?
Sure. I just want to address the misconception around whether or not the car was in gear or not when it was being pulled from a lake.
Sure.
And you have to take me down. You have to follow me down 2 steps. A CRV is nothing but a front-wheel drive Honda Civic. And so the rear wheels, as it was shown being pulled from the water, aren't engaged. Even if she had the all-wheel drive option, she's also got a CVT type transmission, which is relatively recent within the last decade. And what the only thing that all-wheel drive means, it's not a 4-wheel drive, and there's a distinct difference. The all-wheel drive option, if you're driving along and your front wheels slip, the rear wheels kick in, but they don't kick in for 99% of the time until your front wheels start slipping. And so the second point is that particular car with the CVT, a CVT transmission requires the engine to be running in order to
put it in gear.
It requires the engine to be running for the hydraulic pressure, and this is hydraulic pressure we're talking about, to be built up to engage the drivetrain.
Wouldn't it also have a neutral safety switch on it where you couldn't start it?
Well, that is apparently what the tow truck driver ran into. He got called out for a dead battery, but he realized that she was trying to start the car in neutral, and that can't happen. And so he didn't have to jump the battery. He didn't have to. He didn't have to put a jump box on it. She just didn't know how to operate the car.
Wow. Yeah, and see, I haven't watched the video yet, so for me to even bring up, see, I have a neutral safety switch on my Jeep, and I have got an old Jeep. It's a '97, and my son did take it off at one point, and he re-greased the bearings and all of that, and got it working again. But yeah, now I can start it in neutral because I just jumped it. I bypassed it under my hood. I took a paper clip and bypassed it.
Sure.
But otherwise, you can't start it in neutral, correct?
I mean, I don't know. I'll have to do more research on that. But I want to be very clear. Adventures with Purpose did not say that it was in neutral.
Thank you.
They did not say that. They said they did not check the gear.
Right, I heard
or
that.
anything. However, that the wheels you could see were moving, which in their opinion showed, that it was most likely in neutral, but they did not state that they saw it. They never stated that it was in neutral.
The rear wheels will always rotate, because we didn't see video of the front wheels being dug out. We only saw videos of the back wheels rotating, and so the way that the Honda Accord with 4-wheel drive with a CRV body works is that they would always be rolling. There's no other alternative.
Right.
A Honda Accord, though.
And no, it was the CRV is a Honda Accord. It's the same platform. And it's only an SUV body drop on top of that. But some CRVs do come with all-wheel drive.
Right.
I figure hers was all-wheel drive, and I'm just stating that because of where she lived. I mean, they get a lot of snow and everything, and
yeah, I would agree. I would think that too, Justin.
Yeah,
honestly, yeah.
So, we'll just have to wait and see. But it was just his opinion. I mean, they know a lot of vehicles. They've pulled a lot of vehicles out. So,
absolutely,
we're just going to have to wait and see for that.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I think it comes out on Friday, correct?
The free one.
For everybody to see. I mean, because you have to be on
2 days.
The member video. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, 2 days. 2 days from now.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Frida B and Mark. I appreciate you guys coming in. So
nice to talk with you all. Thanks for letting me on, Justin.
No problem. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. All right. Thank you all. All right. So we're going to watch this.
Overwhelmingly, majority of the vehicles that we find are upside down. And what I'm guessing and what I put together is when they hit the water and they come out, they're semi-buoyant, but the wheels are rolling them and maintaining the control of what little buoyancy they have, and then they're dropping from the overwhelming weight, obviously.
I'm making this video in hopes that this can save at least one of my viewers' life. My name is Josh Cantu. I work as a videographer with Adventures with Purpose, and our job is to find people who are underwater in their vehicles. Now, as a husband and father, I am passionate about this video because most people think they know how to get out of a vehicle when it's in the water, but they are wrong. What we know is completely wrong.
Reaction time and speed are key for survival. A sinking car will not immediately submerge, which means there's a small window of opportunity to act.
So you may wonder, why is it so difficult if you drive into the water to get out of your vehicle? It is almost impossible to break this window without a proper tool, and this video is going to teach you what you need to do, what tool you need to get.
An estimated 400 people die each year because their cars are trapped in water, and it turns out many of us are doing exactly the wrong thing in that moment. We roll up the windows and hope for an air bubble or call 911.
What you're about to hear
are actual 911 calls from people in sinking cars.
Help me! I got fire department calling. I don't know what to do. The car is sinking. It's to my right. It's up to my right. It's going down fast. I can't get out.
I'm not making this video to sell you one of these. I'm making this video because I have seen things on this channel. I have seen things being a part of this team. It is very, very sad seeing somebody that tried to get out of their vehicle who was unsuccessful. It is very, very sad seeing all these accidents that possibly could have ended a lot differently if they had this knowledge. This isn't an infomercial. This is me saying I care about you and I want you to be able to give yourself the tools and the chance to survive crashing into the water.
A new warning. Every year, an average of 300 people drown in their cars, and authorities are now offering a different piece of advice.
We tested underwater car a few years ago. Episode got a lot of great response, specifically because I didn't realize this, that is a lot of people's greatest phobia, is being in a car when it goes underwater.
Don't try to open the door. Water pressure makes this extremely difficult to do. And even if you could open the door, this would allow for even more water to come in.
Oh my God, it's coming up under the windshield. Wow, I can feel the pressure. All right, I only have a couple more breaths here.
After we aired that episode, we got a lot of new information about the fact that most cars, when they go in the water, they don't go in and then just sink. They actually go in and do what's called turning turtle. They go upside down. And that episode is the scariest thing that's ever happened to me on the show.
The plan works to perfection as the car pitches nose first and then settles roof side down.
I'm going to try and open it with my... Oh, my mind! Ah! No. Okay. Stay calm. I did not expect it. Let me see if I can open this door. Ah, no. Okay. There's a lot to get caught up in this car, and my visibility is about to disappear. Here we go.
The car suddenly drops like a stone. It flips yet again, so it's back upside down. Remember that Adam's not wearing a dive mask, so his vision is even more blurred than this.
Oh, I absolutely had to partake of the onboard air supply.
The car's turned over again. All right.
My air pocket was changing constantly. And when it finally started to lurch and go under at the end, it went really, really, really fast. I had about 10, 15 seconds of warning. You're in this super confined space. You cannot see anything. You lose all your bearings. I mean, I couldn't find the handles on the doors.
But Adam only got out with the help of canned air. So the myth that it's next to impossible to escape when the car turns turtle is confirmed.
But this isn't an accident. We're learning how to survive an emergency from the Indiana State Police.
Here's the headline you must remember. You have to get out of the car before it sinks. That means you likely have under a minute to get out. Speed is the key to saving your life.
The old way of thinking was that the only way to survive was letting the car fill with water before opening the door. Not anymore.
Unless you want that to be your final resting place. You get out while the car is on the surface.
The first 30 to 60 seconds is when you have to get out of that vehicle.
That's leading researcher Gordon Giesbrecht, who says it's too late to try to push a door open when the car's underwater. So this Florida dive team shows what can be done.
Okay, guys, ready to go.
Let's start the clock in real time. A second after hitting the water, seatbelts off, then windows down. Within 8 seconds, both front seat passengers are out. Water now rushing in the back seat. Passengers scramble. In some cars like this one, rear windows won't roll down all the way. The escape is out the front. Everyone is safe, all in under 20 seconds.
Everybody's clear. It was very intimidating. The car went down quicker than I thought it would. I had a real inflow of water that I had to work against to get out, but it can be done.
Point is, everybody knew what they were supposed to do. Get your seatbelt off, open the window, period, and then get out.
It's simple, but crucial.
Quickly roll down your side window, unbuckle yourself, and climb out. If you are too slow to react, the water pressure could pin your doors and windows shut. That means you'll have to break a window. Don't try the car's front windshield, as it's built to resist impacts.
So go ahead and get yourself out through the windshield.
my goodness.
And what if you were upside down in the water right now?
It's devastating
The
seeing
glass
how
is cutting
hard
me,
this
so I'm
is.
kinda-
Because, like we all know,
I'm not crawling through this
seconds
window.
matter. Seconds matter in these situations. I mean, you can clearly see. I mean, if you have to do this, obviously, survival by all means. But this is going to get you into trouble. Go for the tempered glass.
When you're ready to attempt an escape, look for anything you can use as a hammer. If it's heavy and hard, chances are it could work. Next, aim for the upper right corner of the window. This is most
So just a side note, the little hammers, they make holders for them that you can put directly on your door. So you can like always have it next to your door. They make little sticky things where you can attach it right to the door, which is very handy.
Yeah.
Just an FYI.
often a window's weakest point.
A few months back, Jared, Doug, and I made a video at a junkyard demonstrating how to break a window. I brought my own knife thinking I already had the tool that would work to break one of these windows. And what I learned that day was absolutely shocking.
Okay, so I'm going to close this. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of advice as well. To properly break a window, it is best to actually pick a corner. Will actually break easier rather than the middle. But it's your tool that doesn't seem to work yet.
If I didn't know the information, I would go for the middle. So
go for the middle. I mean, that's why we're doing this, is so we can educate people on what works best. So
I was gonna say, so if I didn't have this, my first response would be an elbow, which sounds like a terrible idea.
Oh, I want to see you do the elbow.
Seeing you guys try to break windows.
You want to come over here? Get your side.
Come on, Josh, with your elbow. Oh, Josh. All right, so you got your fancy little tool, $30. Oh, that's not working either, Josh. Try a corner. It's a sweet looking little tool.
Yeah.
I was really confident in it too,
But
just looking at it.
I'm also curious if this does the trick, because I pounded pretty hard on that window with that blunt force right there.
Oh,
so
I watched you.
If this pops it.
So you just put it against the window. Whoa, Josh.
Dang, man. That was
What do you
awesome.
think about that, Josh?
So, okay, besides the glass getting on my lap, I can definitely get my family to safety. The day after that video, I purchased the window breaker that we were demonstrating from Adventures with Purpose, and I put it on my wife's keychain. This is my wife's keys. And this is probably, and hopefully she never uses it, but this is going to give me the peace of mind that if she is ever without me, with our baby, this is going to give me the peace of mind that if she's ever without me, with our baby in the back, and an accident occurs, I 100% know that she can pop a window and get out. The point of this video is just to say that this tool already exists. We have already figured out the need for this tool, and I'm just trying to pass this information along that for under $10, putting on your keychain, this can give you the peace of mind that you have what you need to react.
And if you can't get the window down, you'll need a backup, an inexpensive window break tool. All right, take a look when I gave it a try. You don't have to be strong. Anyone can do it.
My pulse quickens. Always keep a sharp object or window punching tool like the one I'm using in the car.
His only choice was to take the air offered by diver Don, and Don had his own problems.
I reached out towards Don Best, who is upside down in relation to me, and he can't actually get out of his seat. He's at this point looking for a knife, which he's got, to cut his seatbelt.
My safety diver was actually pinned in his seatbelt and had to use a knife to actually cut himself free.
And if the car is upside down and your seatbelt is locking you in.
Okay, so seatbelt.
Well, let's let him try with his first. So his seatbelt cutter. So let's ask, how much did you pay for your tool?
This was like $30.
$30, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so he's fighting that. Let's give him this one. Let's see how easy this one is compared to the one that he was just using.
Alrighty.
Oh!
And even though most of you watching this will never need this tool, I would much rather you have the information and be able to have this on you and not need it than to be in a situation where you wish you did.
Привозим Попова 14, это, блядь, ебучий адрес, блядь. Раиса Вячеславовна, блядь.
So, we've been spinning a bad accident. The best thing to do right now is to not whatsoever panic. The first thing I know I have my tool on my keychain. I have to access it. I'm going to quickly pull it off.
So I wanted to talk about one more thing, and that is a key fob or a keyless entry. Now, most keychains, like myself, the key goes in the ignition. So when you need your tool, it is right there for you to grab it, pull it off the little tab, and boom, you're ready to use it. Pop in windows instantly. This was in the cup holder or, you know, your wife's purse, and the vehicle flipped upside down. It's going to go flying, and you have no access to it. You're going to be searching for it, and these are crucial seconds that you need. We're going to take away the keychain from the key fob. I'm going to take a zip tie, and I'm going to choose a spot in the vehicle where this is going to be permanent. For my wife, I'm going to put hers right here on her rearview mirror. Zip tied in place. That way, in an emergency, boom, pull this, ready to go.
I'm going to use this seatbelt cutter very quick. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to bust this window. Get out of this vehicle and get away immediately in case it's on fire.
Great. That was less than 60 seconds. You were out.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a link in the description below over to adventurewithpurpose.com website and get yourself one today. It comes in different colors. This is Josh Cantu. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video helps.
After breaking the window, immediately take a deep breath of air and swim out through the rushing water towards safety.
That's why our cars are found upside down majority of the time.
When you receive this in the mail, you're going to want to test it. That way you can get, a feel for it to know how you use it. Don't do it on a window. It'll shatter the window, obviously. But you can use paper, cardboard. All you got to do is push this like this, push all the way down, and the spring will pop and leave a hole in the paper.
That is a very, very, in my opinion, it's just one of the best safety videos you can come across,
Absolutely. It's also mind blowing though, because when they talk about like the windows being open, like that's your best way out, and her windows were open. So
yeah, I mean, so one of the windows was open.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
One of them was halfway down. The other one appeared to be busted.
Right.
And I mean, if the glass was busted in the water, they're going to find they're obviously going to search around the car area to see if there's any evidence around the car area. So they're going to know if that window was busted.
You can also tell though, like when windows are busted, you can also tell if they were busted from the inside or the outside. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, if she was the only one in the car and it was busted from the inside, it would have been her. But if it was busted from the out, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
So, I mean, it does depend on the situation, like what happened. But if it was done underwater with her, they could tell like inside and outside. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So.
Yes. And So that's going to tell a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever, if that window was busted before it was in the water, or after, and if it wasn't busted in the water, that raises a lot more questions.
It sure does. And if it was busted from the outside,
Absolutely, the windshield has a bubble on it, like someone hit their head. I saw that as well.
Yeah.
Someone said that, and which, that leads me that makes me have more questions.
Yep.
Was there an accident? Was that makes me want to think was like, well, maybe it was an accident.
Yeah.
But then you have this other stuff over here that's like, but also, I mean, when they went back to the car, there could have been a fight in the car and someone smashed someone's head against the windshield as well.
Well, remember when they were talking about how, like, I think it wasn't it Sammy who said that, like, most of their parties have like fights or whatever as like a fun entertainment thing. And then they were talking about how Sammy was like referencing fights, like in her talk. So, I mean, they were saying, like, what if they both got in a fight together and, it went the wrong way? So, I mean, that could have led to that,
I mean, have you ever been to a party where they fight, like fake fight?
Back when I was young, we did have that happen, but everybody was like super under the influence, and it was only one party I'd ever been to. Like, that wasn't a normal thing. It was just like,
right. She says it to entertain.
Yeah. And it wasn't entertainment for us. They were trying to be entertaining, but for us, we were all scared, and it wasn't like that for us. So that's just weird to hear that it's entertaining to see kids beat the crap out of each other. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Do you remember seeing that short clip of a video of the party that night?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
You could tell something was really happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was like.
Is that what you're talking about?
What is it?
Like gathering in that line? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, there was like a big circle or something.
Yeah. And there was like a bunch of fires in a circle too.
Yeah, I don't know if there was fires.
Well, there was like 3 fires in a circle. And like they were talking about how maybe that was like the middle of like all the fires was where they were fighting. So I don't know if that was in that video, but they were talking about that in a video. So
yeah, but you could hear like them, like they were really loud.
Yeah.
And so it was just interesting. Like, was the girls fighting too?
Exactly. That was my thought. Like when they were talking about the whole fight thing, because they were saying like she was referencing, like when she was missing, she was like Sammy. I believe they were saying it was Sammy saying it. She was saying, keep fighting. And they were saying like, if you kept getting into, because like, how like, I don't know, they get into like the way people talk and the way their body, like the way they move their hands or the way they, whatever. So they were saying like getting into the way she was talking, keep fighting. And then something before that they had gotten into. So they came to the conclusion, well, because she was talking about the fighting for entertainment, maybe it was her and Sammy fighting, and it just turned out to be something that it shouldn't have, and it went too far, and something happened to Kylie. So
in my opinion, when they went back to that car, something happened.
That's what I feel like.
Something happened right there.
Yeah.
I just can't get over that, because Sammy never said who was in the car.
Yeah.
She never said that, and she never said who they went home with. Now, Sammy likes to talk. She loved to talk for a long time, right?
She loved the attention, and you could tell she ran everything and talked to everybody. She loved that.
And it seems to me, it felt like she liked control.
Yep.
As well.
Absolutely.
So I just feel like there was a fight.
Yeah.
I just feel like there was a fight, maybe over, jealousy. Maybe it was a guy. I don't know, but
yeah. Could have been Jagger, like, you know what I mean? Who knows? Like, it could have just been like them they were wasted and like they wanted to join the whole entertainment fighting. It could have been over a guy, but I kind of feel like the fighting thing, because she was the one that made that, like, one of the like huge things she talked about was the fighting for entertainment thing.
Yes.
Because honestly, like, if it comes down, like, if they find out that somebody hurt her, she could come out and be like, well, it was for entertainment. Like, I didn't mean to hurt her. We were doing it for, like,
yes, she's laying the groundwork ahead.
Absolutely. So
yeah,
could be that too.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, that is the thing though. Like, we have so many like thoughts and like, I don't know, so many leads to what people are saying, and we can look into all kinds of like wording and like body language. We can look into all that, but until we find out that, I mean, what are we going to do? We all have thoughts and opinions and, so.
Exactly. So guys, I've been on here 3 hours. I have to go finish homework with the kids and all of that. So
I got to put my baby to bed.
Yeah. Thank you, Court. I appreciate you coming up. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. So until, answers are going to come out slowly, I'm sure, but I'll be interested in when the next press conference is going to be and when they make that call.
Absolutely.
Of how are they going to rule this. So we're just going to have to wait, and time will tell.
Time will tell. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Let's just hope for the best.
That's right. That's right.
That nobody hurt her. So
yeah.
Thank you for allowing me up here.
Oh, of course. Welcome. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Good night, everyone. God bless each and every one of you, and justice for Kylie. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.